Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. As you would expect, not much price action on Saturday. In yesterday's video, I already indicated that we probably have to expect some more sideways action over the weekend. That's precisely what we see right now. Just sideways action as we are heading into Saturday, which is okay, which is what we typically expect on a Saturday. But if we have some initial evidence that a wave 4 is playing out, it gets typically quite clear that the wave 4 on the weekend is going to be a boring sideways consolidation. Now that's basically in line with the analysis, which helps us to understand that a wave 4 and a wave 2, they should have roughly the same length. It's not a rule, but it's more of a guideline. Visually, they should have roughly the same length. You want to make sure that you understand that Bitcoin likes to do this, a wave 4 and wave 2. Otherwise, if they don't have the same length, the move down that could follow would probably likely just be an extension of the third wave. So at the moment, it seems to go that way. It seems to go that way that Bitcoin wants to produce a more healthy wave 4. Showed you that yesterday, wave 2, lengthwise, compare that to the wave 4, could go a little longer, okay? And that could be the development that we see over the weekend. So the resistance area still remains valid. Communicated that yesterday to you between 27,200 and 27,620. This is the resistance for Bitcoin for the wave 4, and as long as we don't break above that range, especially the 27,620 level, the overall scenario should stay intact, which means, zooming out a bit, which means that over the coming sessions, over the coming weeks, actually we should track down lower. Of course, bullish scenarios are possible as well. They're just not very evident in the chart. This is not a very clear bullish structure. The only way you could really count that as something really bullish would be as a 1-2, 1-2 setup. But it is really, really rare that the second wave 1, which this here would be, and it's not even a nice impulse, that the second wave 1 is longer, more stretched out, in size price-wise than the first wave 1. So normally, if this was a reliable 1-2, 1-2 setup, then this could be a 1, this could be a 2. And this could be as well a 1, and this could be a 2, and we should go up from here radically. However, we rule that out. I mean, you can never rule something out completely, but we say it's very unlikely, which doesn't mean it couldn't play out. So you need to understand that it's probabilities, but that should be common sense. What is important to understand is that a lower degree wave 1, which this should be, it is normally shorter in size, so price-wise, than the first wave 1. There are clear Fibonacci extensions that should not be broken, and they were clearly broken here, which would make the idea of an ABC structure, for example, more likely, okay, or WXY, okay. So actually WXY would be here, WXY, and then ABC. Looking at the proportions, it's much rather an ABC structure, which topped here in a B wave, which is now following through to the downside. Again, it's all a matter of, let the market tell us what's going on. We are observing support and resistance. We do not speculate about any ETF news, because I've had some messages that due to positive ETF news, resistance is likely to be broken. Well, if it breaks, then it breaks, but then the market shows us that it breaks. Okay, it's not like we want to speculate if resistance breaks. That's not the way to do it. We want to focus and stay in the present. Okay, ETF news doesn't really give us any entry points, exit points, resistance levels, or support. We can really only focus on what we see. ETF news also doesn't give us any risk management parameters. That's only coming from the technical analysis. So I think bottom line is here on the weekend, we likely see some more sideways action. You can see that in the price action itself. It already started yesterday. It was very, very choppy. Then we had a small rally that was not unexpected, closer to resistance, didn't break into resistance, but that might happen over the weekend, and we might just see a little bit more sideways action because of the length, sort of proportions that are quite important between waves 2 and 4. And the last small sell-off that we had yesterday as well rather confirms the idea that we are here in a corrective wave. So that all would favor price continuation to the downside. Also, I wanted to take a look with you at the Fear and Greed Index, which I don't use very often. I mean, it sort of measures sentiment as well, but it's not that dependable, reliable as Elliott Wave. Nevertheless, the Fear and Greed Index shows rather neutral. So what does that mean? A little bit of fear, okay, but rather neutral. Fear, neutral, okay. So you know that bull markets typically start in areas or in, when we have a very, very high fear levels, that is typically when a bull market really starts or when the next rally to the upside should start. Now, the fact it's quite neutral just means people seem to be in, I don't know, in a mode of, I don't care mode or something, it's just, it shows some fear, but it is rather neutral. So we're far away from any extreme levels, telling me that potentially in this move to the downside, not enough fear has started to come in, at least when we talk about Bitcoin, which means that it really might take longer and, to play out this move to the downside, it will be more stretched out. And that's exactly what my wave counts show here anyway. I would argue that by the time we come down there into the region between 22 and 24K, there are quite high fear levels, okay, and then we have a good chance to turn around. Yeah, so the short-term downside structure is still preferred. If we see a break above resistance 27,620, then I would first view this B wave as being reset a little higher, but we don't focus on that primarily. Yeah, so that's the update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. As a channel member, you get access to the weekly live streams. The next one is tomorrow. And in these live streams, we cover educational topics and also some member requests. You also get access to Discord and Telegram, educational content, and as a gold member, you get access to short-term market updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.